Okay, so maybe you had a fender bender, maybe you veered off the road, maybe you tried to do a 3-point turn on the road when you shouldn't have, and absolutely shredded the undercarriage of your car on a curb on the side of the road. Sorry, Mom. But it's not always the driver that's at fault. Hi everyone, my name is Abby, and I'm bringing you a most amazing top 10 video about the scariest roads you should never drive on. Make sure y'all stay to the end of the video because I have some bonus content for you. Alright, maybe you've heard of the road to death in Bolivia, cited as the most dangerous road in the world. The thing is, all of the dangers on that road are natural ones. In this video, I'll be running through the unnatural appearances happening on and around roads that make them scary. Number 10. BELCHEN Tunnel in Switzerland. This tunnel is a part of the A2 motorway and is supposedly haunted by the ghost of an old woman dressed in all white. The story goes that an old woman dressed in white hitchhikes along this road. She seems to appear out of nowhere and sometimes even speaks to the drivers. If she was picked up from the side of the road, she would disappear from the car while the driver drove through the tunnel. A reported sighting from 2 women saw this figure and picked her up off the side of the street. She warned them something bad was going to happen, then she vanished. Ghosted them, you could say. Number 9. A75 KINMOUNT Strait in Scotland. This highway is reportedly the most haunted in Scotland, with stories varying on what phantom things people see. Some see old women or cars they could hit before they disappear. Others saw pedestrians they thought they had hit, but when they got out of the car, there was no one to be found. One man, while driving, was stopped cold with what he thought was a parade of people, and then they just weren't there when he talked to other people. Many people have chills at the thought of driving on this road. An infamous and unusual sighting on this road was made by Derek and Norman Ferguson in 1962, where they witnessed great cats and other various creatures, as well as a phantom furniture van. And okay, I get it if the cats and furniture van don't sound as scary as other things, but for those to be things that people reported as phantom and disappearing is what I find spooky about it, alright? Like, I'll be avoiding that road in Scotland. Thank you very much. Number 8. The Screaming Tunnel in Niagara Falls, Ontario, Canada. This one has so much notoriety that it was used in the filming of a Stephen King adaptation. And no, not It or It 2, but The Dead Zone. So, legend has it that if you stand in the tunnel and light a match, it will go out. Then you'll hear the screams of a dying girl. The dying girl supposedly is from a local story that has a few different versions. Story goes, she lived in a farmhouse on the south side of the tunnel, and one night her house caught fire. She ran away from her house with her clothes still on fire and made it all the way to the tunnel before she fell to the ground and died. So this is a road that maybe you will drive on, but just keep going through the tunnel, don't get out, no need to push your luck, just keep pushing on. Number 7. CASABLANCA Tunnel in Indonesia. This underpass in East Jakarta, Indonesia, is well known as an urban legend place by locals who say it was once a mass grave. On top of that, it has some of the highest amounts of reports of hauntings in all of the tunnels in Indonesia. Many of these settings are of a Pontianak. To keep us all on the same page, a Pontianak is a female vampiric ghost in Indonesian mythology. They are said to be the spirits of women who died while pregnant. Back to the tunnel, some drivers claim to see this ghost or Pontianak in white clothes waving at them. Getting closer, they could see it was a wrinkled old woman with one eye hanging out of its socket. This woman, apparently, was the victim of a horrible crime by criminals done long before the underpass was built, and still haunts the tunnel. Another being haunting the tunnel? On full moons, it is rumored that there's a spirit of a hanged man at the entrance of the tunnel. Now, that's the 3rd creepy tunnel I've talked about so far, so be wary of tunnels is what I'm taking out of this, honestly. Number 6. A616 Stockbridge Bypass in the United Kingdom. This bypass passes through quaint countryside, but it is well known for being one of the deadliest and most haunted places in the UK. When builders were building the road, starting in 1987, workers at the site had chilling experiences. First, there were strange sounds. Banging sounds not typical to the area, voices, and the laughter of kids. Then, sightings of apparitions. 2 site security guards named Stephen Brooks and David Goldthorpe spotted children playing and dancing in the construction site while they were on patrol. Getting closer, they saw the kids were in old-fashioned clothing and not paying them any mind. But when the guards were getting close enough to talk to the children, they apparently just blinked out of existence. No mark in the mud, no evidence, nada. Another time, on the same bypass, there was a monk in a robe that dissipated when drivers would pass through, and there were other specters causing, cars to veer. All of these paranormal experiences were repeated with more frequent sightings. This stretch of road has an unusually high concentration of traffic accidents. Maybe it's the heavy traffic traffic, or maybe the ghosts. On to number 5, Devil's Washbowl Road, United States. When I think of Vermont, I think of skiing, but if you are familiar with the story of a 1971 dance in Northfield, you may think Pigman. On a stretch of the Devil's Washbowl Road, a pigman is rumored to run across the laneways. It was described in its first sighting as between 5'5" and 6 feet, naked and covered in white hair, walking on 2 legs with the face of a pig. The story goes that a fair-haired boy who lived on Darby Farm in the city went missing around the same time as Pigman sightings started. There's no sure agreement on whether or not he was eaten by Pigman or became Pigman, but regardless, cats and dogs went missing, so this haunted road is one to be avoided for sure. Number 4, Clinton Road in the United States. This road in New Jersey's folklore has everything. Sightings of ghosts, a kind of hellhound, gatherings of witches, Satanists, and the Ku Klux Klan, aka everything you want to avoid. Rumor has it, professional killers dispose of bodies in the surrounding woods. There's even one reported case of this legitimately happening. Still thinking of driving around this one? How about you go near the Clinton Reservoir, near the bridge, and near a sharp, dead man's curve, and toss a coin into the water. Legend says a boy will toss it back. Maybe you'll see his reflection or be pelted with coins too. That's what other stories say. There are other places in New Jersey to drive, so I recommend you stick to the shore. Was my bad accent? You're welcome. On to number 3, Riverdale Road in United States. Located in Thornton, Colorado, Riverdale Road has even more lore attached to it than the previous Clinton Road I just talked about. To start, it has what people call the Gates of Hell. Apparently, the man who built these gates lost his mind when they were finished and burnt his mansion with his whole family inside. Never caught, never put on trial. Because of this, thrill seekers are drawn to the rusty gates, hoping to see the ghost of his wife, a lady in white. Driving by, she may appear in your rearview mirror. Or, driving by, you may feel the ghost of an angry jogger hitting your car. This ghost is of a jogger who was hit on Riverdale Road and didn't make it. If you walk the road on foot, you may hear a heart-beating footsteps that are attributed to this man. If that's not enough for you to steer clear of Riverdale Road, you may be distracted on some nights on a full moon by ghosts hanging from cottonwood trees that line the street. Not enough then? There's a spirit of a young boy that smears bloody handprints on every street sign that he walks past. That spirit of the young boy, it's because he was hit by a car on the way to school. Once the morning comes though, the bloody handprints, all gone. Lastly, you could be driving down Riverdale Road, minding the blind corners that can make it a little more dangerous, and you decide to offer a ride to a hitchhiker you spotted on the side of the road. But once you pull over, they disappear. And guess what? Surprise, one more. A phantom Camaro with one working headlight pulls up behind you, and it's the ghost of a driver from the 70s who tested their need for speed and ended up in a fatal crash. Those are all of the phantom things on that Colorado strip of road. So Colorado drivers or those passing through, just take another road and not the one sharing a name with the TV adaptation of Archie comics. On to number 2, Mount Misery Road and Sweet Hollow Road in the United States. Now this one's a 2-for-1, located in New York nonetheless. Both Mount Misery and Sweet Hollow roads are in West Hills County Park in the town of Huntington. Locals say there are many urban legends associated with the area, though these two droves drive right through them. Strange lights appearing on the road, livestock disappearances, mysterious creatures in the woods are all said to be a list of reasons indigenous groups initially sold the land to settlers. Other sightings on these roads are reported to be Mothman sightings, which, if you are not familiar, is a tall humanoid figure with wings on its back, vaguely resembling a moth, and it has stories all over. Another is the legend of Mary's grave, the grave of a woman who murdered her husband and children. Supposedly, she's buried in the woods off Mount Misery Road. On her tombstone, there's a birth date, but no death date, and if you shine a flashlight on her tombstone at night, her face appears. See, my nan's name is Mary, and I like her face, so I'll think I'll avoid that road and take a trip to my nan's house instead for some tea and cookies. On to number 1, Tuen Mun Road in Hong Kong. This congested highway was built in 1977, with numerous crashes happening over the years. This has been credited to both poor road design and the ghost sightings rumored to happen. According to folklore, the ghosts of previous crashes appear in front of a driver or in the middle of the road. These ghosts cause the drivers to swerve and avoid hitting who they think is a person, which then causes more accidents and crashes to happen on the already congested and accident-prone highway. An example of this, in 2003, a bus had a crash and 21 people were killed. Some say they still see the spirits walking around the area. So that's my top 10 scariest roads to drive on, and with that I say thank goodness for public transit. Never thought I'd say that with so much joy, but whatever. Would you put these roads in a different order? Add other roads? Let me know in the comments below. And tell me which you thought was the scariest, because I want to know. Even if it's just a little element of one of the stories I told. Also, hit that subscribe button and give me a like, because I'm new. That's it. No, get a playlist going if you're feeling brave too. Once again, I'm Abby for Most Amazing Top 10, and thank you for watching. Keep watching for bonus content. Fun. Can you back up for that? Runacross is not the proper pronunciation. Professional. Satanists and the kook. Hit that subscribe button, comment, and give. Oh, sorry.